Hello, beautifuls. It's been such a healing, cleansing night and day. Working with the shadow self, and I did this wonderful, wonderful journaling experience, which I wanted to talk about, which may help you as well. I feel we're all in this together, and sharing the tools and what works for us helps. Yeah, it helps us all rise and uplifts us, and just it's so yummy to release and just create. And so anyway, yes, I've been journaling about my first experiences intimacy wise, etc., and it's been such a deep healing and shift because I felt I couldn't talk to anyone about it because I didn't have that peer support or group, or I also feel personally in my culture, and there might be also in other cultures, that there's a lot of double standards when it comes to intimacy. Example, it could be glorifying the male and then shaming the woman. Example, I'd gone back to Kenya years ago, and we were in the car, and this girl was walking down the street, and there were I think four people inside in the car, and two of them had intimacy with her, and so they started name calling her, and I was just like, what? Like, I was in such shock that it saddens me, honestly. It just saddens me that I was in complete shock, and it's still like, yeah, when I go, it's so two of them in the car had created such a wonderful memory, and instead of honoring her and and her and that space, that intimate space that they shared, it was dishonoring her, and I thought that was horrific. It was just, I just want to vomit. Like, it's honor the men and women you have that connection with, and hold it in a sacred space. It's something that both of you shared in a moment in time, whatever. And of course, like, as we grow older, etc., we have more reverence, or hopefully have more reverence. But regardless of age, like, I just feel like it takes a lot to get into that intimate space, and at that young age we're all exploring, like, we're all, no one like, before they used to have like schools for tantra, etc., and taoism for teenagers to go to and learn about the sacred sexual energy, and like how to harness it up instead of it being like a sneeze and all that energy is just going whoosh and it's out. So it's yeah, it's so crazy. So yeah, so the more I've been journaling about my journey and what I've witnessed and the things I'd heard growing up, from, because I had, like, because of my brothers, I had, like, the older female friends talking to me, etc. So yeah, so it's all these different experiences and things people say, and just writing it down. Journaling is like meditation for me. I just go through pages and pages, and it was like having that safe space to talk to someone about the first experience, and not having that female support, in essence, about sharing about the pain and all that journey which came with it. It was there was no one to hold that space for me, because the mentality of intimacy is like after marriage, etc., in when you look at the generational patterns and the tabooism about it, etc. So yeah, it was so healing for me, and just to voice it in my journal. So yeah, I hope this helps, so you find a way to talk to someone or journal about your different experiences. Just sitting with it, like the different energies that have come into your life. Like, I personally absolutely love the yoni eggs. It's been my greatest healer. It's so basically yoni eggs are eggs that you insert in the vagina. It's called yoni, like the sacred space, the sacred home, the sacred seed of life, where everything, like, because birth, creation comes out from it. So it's given so much reverence and love, and so much love in the Taoism and Tantra practices, where they actually bow down to the yoni, and vice versa, you bow down to each other as well before you even step into that place, because it's such a sacred space. So basically concubines used to use the jade eggs, so that way it's like Kegel exercise, and they used to make it tighter, and so that you'd be able to pleasure the king, because depending on where you contract the muscles, if it's in the bottom or the glands of the top part, it stops the male from ejaculation, so they can have the multiple ejaculation, etc. So the way it came about, I feel, is still very, like, in essence patriotic, in the sense it's the male side of it, you know, how the woman had to tighten so the man had more pleasure, or etc. And if you didn't pleasure the king, basically, then he could have ejaculated in you, and then they had a method like beating the bottom of their back and stuff to remove that semen so she doesn't conceive. But if you pleasured the king for a longer time and used your muscles and he felt that, then you could be giving birth to a prince or a princess. So I basically shifted it personally. I haven't bought the jade one and haven't used it because it didn't resonate with me in the essence of, I love jade, I absolutely do. It's I don't know, I just felt more drawn to rose quartz because I needed that loving and love and healing inside my womb, and just that unconditional love, just like washing over my womb, washing over my body, it was just the most phenomenal experience. And so over time, with the different yoni eggs I used, it actually helped. I think, yeah, black tourmaline helped me release the energy of the basically the energetic field of the lovers. So when I went to, everyone has a different experience. For me personally, when I went to sleep, it was like a fast forward movie of the different energies, and just sort of holding space for me, holding space for them. And it's just sort of like a goodbye and releasing their energy, and like releasing those cords, because when we're in that intimacy, it holds a very deep cord. Like, I'd met someone in last year in October, November, and when I met them, I asked them if they were with this other person, because the cord was so it was so tight, the cord. So I asked them if they were in a relationship with them, and then they said no, but that they used to be. And it just highlights how that energy carries on. So so basically there are so many different methods to cut the cords as well. So I'll finish with the yoni eggs first. So basically, after that fast food film, it was like saying goodbye and like releasing the hurt, the shame, the guilt, whatever emotions were involved in the interaction and the parting, etc. If there was not a proper goodbye or final goodbye, and all those different aspects of it. So yeah, it was just like whoosh, and then I woke up and I just felt like a new person. Like I just felt like wow, like it was just all like cleared, and I just felt like I had space to breathe and be and just be my energy and not yeah, it's because there's so many reflexology points in the uterus, and so yeah, just having that yoni egg tap into and clear and close back. Tourmaline's also really good for abuse, etc. So it does help shift and clear in such a magical, beautiful way. So yeah, so that's one of the methods, and then the next one that we were talking about was cutting cords. Yes. So basically, if you visualize your outline and the other person's outline, and just visualize where the cords are, or just feel them on your body of where you feel they would be. Like I sometimes feel them at the back of my body, like my lower back or my upper back near my heart. And that's beautiful as well because it's heart energy. However, if they're no longer in my life and I'm not friends with them, and I can send them love and healing when I want to and if I want to, but I don't have to be attached to their energetic cord field. So I use Archangel Michael. I love Archangel Michael, and with his loving guidance, using his sword to just cut the cords. Sometimes, depending on who it is, I use Archangel Shamuel, or I love my Divine Mother, Kuan Yin. I adopted her as a mother figure to help me sort through things with deep love, no judgment. I just needed that space and that love. And you know what, everyone's in a different space, and I feel it's so nice to have that Divine Mother or Father figure according to who you need to support you and love you through whatever you're going through. Sometimes our own lineage has so much baggage that we're helping clear as well, because we're part of that lineage. So yeah, if I've personally felt adopting a human, and I'll clarify that, adopting a human in essence of like a Divine Mother, where I act as a Divine Mother to her and she holds that space for me. However, also beautiful friends and sisters, and yeah, I miss her. You know who you are. I love you. And so we just hold that space for each other so beautifully, and we needed that to help us heal through things I didn't know that I needed to heal. And yeah, and Vipassana really helped me through that. It's a silent meditation for 10 days where you have a discourse in the evening, and they talk about, I think it was an hour long. And what I absolutely love about it is that you just sit and you just feel whatever's happening in your body, and just breathe through your nose, and just 3 days is just breathing through the nostrils, and then the 4th day onwards you scan your whole body, and just whatever is going internally, it's like accepting what is going on and making peace with it, or just sitting with it till it either releases, or basically, as they say, anicca, which means impermanent. So it's there and then it goes away, all in divine timing. And yeah, and so these centers are all over the world, and they're all donation or based, or if you can't donate, they're free. So it's it's service based, and that's another thing I love about it, because everyone's in different stages of their life. So basically, the 3rd day is when I felt the healing coming through, like things coming up that needed to heal. And the 7th day I had a big cry about ending a phase of my life and stepping into the new. And then I was surprised that the 9th day I cried a lot. Oh my god, the whole day was just crying, because growing up as a tomboy, I had suppressed so many emotions. So there was so much of my childhood that I hadn't made peace with. So the ninth day was all about that grieving in essence. And yeah, as a mother, it was beautiful to have those 10 days away to just sit with my wounds and look at them and appreciate them for the lessons and the love they've given me, and from there transform it into something magical and beautiful. And that's what Wadjet, the goddess Wadjet, is still about. So the same book, The Shamanic Mysteries of Egypt. And so she talks about if we human beings can learn not to ignore, but rather to experience and embrace emptiness. This is talking about the emptiness and the beauty of emptiness. Obviously, it could be any emotion you're going through. And to dance in the void while holding space for the energies of the heart, mind, so we can create and eat of the divine fruits of our labors and creations. So beautiful. Unless and until we can do that, we will miscreate while continuing to believe that this will bring us more. Our creations that come from a lower level of consciousness will always turn upon us. And so it talks about how it looks like people are getting away with things that we might see or define as negative, but how we all have done that in past lives, and how we sort of give reverence to it or help heal it over the time in our different journeys. So it's sort of, I guess, it's that justice side of the spirit world, where when you leave this body and go into the spirit world and look at your movie and the actions that you took that may have hurt other people, it's like coming back on earth to change that or shift that, or yeah, so because your life purpose and life mission, I feel, changes with every birth. So it's taking responsibility for your actions for the past lives, and then helping heal them through different lifetimes. It could take lifetimes, or it could, depending on what it is and how it is. Because yeah, so I hope this wonderful story journey helps give you some healing or some love, or yeah, even a blessing, or yeah, so you can pass it on, a blessing or a nugget which has helped you. And whatever it is, it's always perfect and beautiful. So all my love.